So Truth Social is going to come out and it's going to start trading. Well, I'll tell you this, guys. On paper, anyway, Donald Trump seems to have a little bit of money. I mean, he's got all these buildings, of course. So we know about that. His net worth was already estimated to be somewhere in the vicinity of $3 billion. Of course, he'd have to sell all the buildings in order to get all that. But then he just got a little sweetener by way of Truth Social. If this thing holds up, then he's going to really be a happy guy, because then he's going to have somewhere in the vicinity of 6 billion plus. Shares on paper right now are valued at somewhere around $3 to $4 billion, which is why I kind of found it somewhat funny that the folks over at MSNBC, as recently as Friday, were trying to say he's got nothing. He's got no money at all. Like, doesn't have 2 cents to rub together. I'm like, guys, what kind of Kool-Aid are you drinking? Or should I say, what are you smoking? Watch.
And if you're looking at something that just doesn't make sense, there's a reason. And here, we're looking at something that makes no sense. This guy's getting crazier by the day. He's got no money. The campaign is just broke. People don't want to give money. He's down 200,000 contributors to where he was this time in the cycle 4 years ago. Biden's raised $71 million. People are begging, literally begging. And any idiot that runs some podcast, they're begging. They're calling contributors and saying, how can I help? I want to write checks for Joe Biden. Put that number up again. What did Tip O'Neill say about money in politics? It's the mother's milk of politics.
So
right now,
Joe Scarborough thinks the 71 million to the 33 million is going to be the whole story. Let me just tell you something, Joe. Money ain't everything. I think Hillary Clinton found that out. Did she not, guys? Right? Remember when Hillary Clinton was running in 2016 and she had so much more money than Donald Trump? And yet it didn't work. It didn't work because the message didn't resonate. And all of a sudden, Donald Trump came along and he totally turned everything on its head. He was doing rallies instead of the little tiny coffees. I remember it in real time because born and raised in New Hampshire, live free or die in New Hampshire. You can get your cup, actually. Some of you guys have asked me on the store, the trishregan.shop. So feel free to do that and help support the show. Anyway, he was there in New Hampshire, and instead of going around and doing the little coffees in everybody's living room, like I grew up with, all of a sudden, he's renting out these giant auditoriums. And he's doing these massive rallies, and everybody would come. Everybody wanted to hear him. Well, one, he had the celebrity factor going for him, right? So that was certainly helpful. And two, he was able to do this, and it was a very sort of economized way of using his time while simultaneously getting the message out to a very large group of people, while also getting the free media coverage. It used to be that, these politicians were so snooty and so snobby, and we're only going to do this reporter, and we're going to do that reporter, and we're not going to talk to you or you or you. And Barack Obama, great example. I've told you guys a story about how I threw a mic in his face on the campaign trail, and his person came up to me and was so angry. How dare you do that? We're never going to give you an interview when he becomes president. That's what they told me. And well, you know what? I never did get an interview when he became president. So I guess they followed through on that one. But Donald Trump, he'd talk to anyone. He called into even Morning Joe all the time. They were all best buds, right? He was always on the airwaves. And the reason he did that, very smartly so, was he recognized the value in that free media. No politician had ever gotten that before, because you know what? None of these people really are thinking strategically the way they should. And by the way, absolutely the way they should if they want to help our country and save our country and bring our country into the future. So he turned everything on its head. He took all the free media he could get. He had these giant rallies, and he was able to get his message out to a very large group of people in a much more cost-efficient, economical way. And so I get back to this. It's not all money. Like, that is not the be-all, end-all. And if the Democrats can't realize that, then hey, so be it. Cheers, right? Because we frugal Republicans, we know how to do more with less, right? We don't believe in that bloat.